good night everyone. It's Diane here, also known as Mrs. U. It is the 25th, I think it's still the 25th. Yes, it's still the 25th. It hasn't passed midnight just yet, the 25th of March. Yes, it's very late in the night. Everyone in the U household is asleep, and I decided that I will do a quick video. Yeah, just because I haven't done, I think the last one I did was a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, and I wanted to do, I was planning to do one anyway, and then the whole school closure and lockdowns happened. Yeah, which is why I'm doing it now while I have the chance. So how are you? I'm guessing most of you watching this will also be on lockdown or social distancing. I wonder who came up with that word. And also or even self-isolating. So if you are, I hope you are able to get some work done if you are able to work from home, and that you're also busying yourself with crafts and other things. I don't know what I would be doing right now if I didn't have my craft to do. I think I would be extremely bored. Yeah, added to that, I'm also home learning with the kids. I have four kids. For those of you who don't know, 9-year-old triplet boys and little miss. So I have been doing some home learning with them. I set out a little plan. I put something up on the wall in the kitchen. Yeah, so in total, I'm not doing anything heavy. Just I think about 3 hours each day, kind of split up throughout the day. So today was the third day of doing that. Yeah, it's going well. Day one wasn't too bad, just getting into the groove of things. And also my nephew has been coming over, so I'm doing that with 4 or 5 children. So yeah, not too bad. The school gave us some resources and some links also, so I've been going through that with them just to help them, you know, kind of remember what they've been doing in school. I'm not kind of seeing it as pumping them with information and trying to keep school going, because that's not going to be possible. So it's just a way to keep them stimulated and active and not get out of that routine of being in a structured learning environment. But anyway, yeah, I don't really have anything to show today. I just thought, since I was going to do something, and since I kind of sort of finished the thing I've worked on, it's not finished, it's just finished in the sense of I don't need to knit on it anymore. So I thought it would be a good chance just to show this and just have a quick chat, as I don't know when I'll be able to do this again. Hopefully next week, and if I do it next week, it most likely probably will be the same time or a similar time, and hopefully I would have completely finished what I'm going to show you. Yeah, before I started all of this, I was supposed to say, okay, I did say my name. Yes, I said all that. Those of you who don't know, I'm based in London. I live with my husband, Mr. Yu, and I said the 4 kids. This is a mainly knitting podcast. Sorry, something just came on my screen. This is a mainly knitting podcast, but there's also some crochet. I design under the name Mrs. U Makes. I also make stitch markers, and I have what is it, an Etsy store, a store on Folksy, and also a Ravelry store and a store on Love Crafts, where you can get my patterns and stitch markers from there. You can also find me on Instagram as Mrs. U Makes as well. I'm on Ravelry as YummyTripletMummy. I'm trying to sort out my Facebook page, which is also Mrs. U Makes, and also Pinterest. Don't really do Twitter, and the blog. All that information will be in the description box, and some things will be on the screen there as well. So we've got all of that out of the way. So what do I have to show you? I showed this in the last, okay, that's what I've done. I showed this in the last episode I did. I think this is, what, 31, 32 now, I think. I can't remember which episode number this is. But yeah, I showed this in the last episode. So just, I think, when was it? About an hour or so ago, maybe 2-3 hours. I finished the knitting on this. So I just need to seam the ends together and then do some more seaming and it's done. And it is the knitted version of the infinity scarf. So that's the whole thing like this. So I just need to do the seamings and then it's done. So yeah, that's finished now. And I do have the crochet version with me. I had to get Little Miss to give this to me so that I could check the size to see that they were the same size. So some of the ends, the seam that I did on this has come out because she's been wearing it a lot to school. And at the time I also didn't sew in the ends, so you will see a few ends and some gaps on there, but I just need to reseam this because it was a very long time that I made this. And this also needs a wash as well. There's a bit of food matter. I don't know what she was eating when she was wearing this, but there's some stuff kind of stuck in there. But anyway, this isn't going to anybody else but me. Well, her now. She's kind of claimed this as her own. So yeah, that's fine. So I just need to give this a quick wash. So this is the crochet version. So you just have this sort of ombre type effect here, and then you have this section here, and then it just continues like that. So try to kind of mimic that with this one, where you have just a plain version, a plain section, which is here, and then I just added this color work section here, and then just added this also. My initial plan was to have this section be smaller, but then to make, okay, it's a bit dark, so to make this solid purple section shorter, but just to give it the length needed, I extended it. Yeah, and also the same as well, this initially wasn't meant to be so long. This section that's going to end up being like this. It wasn't going to be so long, but yeah, I'll just adjust where I start the pattern. So yeah, so happy to have this finally finished, and then I'll just get this written up. I can't remember if I writ up the crochet version. I know I have it handwritten, but I don't know if I've typed everything up. I think I might have started it but just not completed. So I just need to find where that is. It might be on my hard drive, and then yeah, just put them both together. So they'll both be released. I will release them both together so that you can have a crochet and knitted version of the infinity scarf. And I was thinking of maybe also, well, most likely what I would do is offer this as maybe as a free gift for subscribers to the mailing list. So I might do that as well. We'll see. Well, most likely I will do that. But yeah, so back to this. So the yarn I used for this this bit here is Countess Ablaze on the Persephone sock base, and the colorway is I'm Not Okay. I got this, I think I mentioned in the last episode, I got this as a what was it? It was a D-stash, and I wasn't expecting it to be as kind of pink as it is, and this isn't really my color. So I kept it with the mind to use it along with something else. I know the lighting isn't so good in here, so but I think that is a good representation of how it looks. Yeah, so I decided to keep it and maybe use it with something else. But then my niece wanted this and I wasn't going to give this away. So I said I would make her something, and since she does kind of like these colours, I said I'll do it for her and then just pair it with some black and the purple. The black, I can't remember what yarn brand this is, but yeah, I'll have to double check that. And this purple is Malabrigo, and the colorway is Africana Violetta, I believe. Yeah, I used this to make a sock design, and this was the leftover yarn that I had, so it's good to be able to use this up on something. So yeah, that's all done. For this, I think it's not Millamia, but it is a very soft merino. It could be cider, I think, or soda. I always forget how to pronounce that. Something like that, but I'll have to double check what this is. But yeah, I just liked the kind of powdery, pastel-y colours in this. So hopefully I'll get all those patterns written up soon, and that will be done. And then I also need to write up the patterns for the Fairly Odd Socks Volume 2. Yeah, so this whole lockdown thing in a sense is good because it means I'm not having to worry about doing a school run and everything like that. So I can spend more, in theory, spend more time doing things. But the downside is that everybody is here all the time, and also having to do the home learning stuff. But my plan is that when we get to the Easter holiday stage, I'm going to stop the official home learning and do what we normally would do on holidays, which would just be reading and maybe a little bit of work, because normally they would sometimes have homework over the holidays, so then they would just do it a little bit each day. So what I would probably do during the Easter holidays is that it's just do the normal readings that they will do, and then maybe about 30 or so minutes in the day just to do something. So at least then I might then use that time to focus more on the writing. Also, Mr. Yu is here because he's after our Prime Minister. I always forget he's the Prime Minister. In my mind, I keep thinking of David Cameron whenever anybody says the Prime Minister. And we've had 2 Prime Ministers since he's left. Well, this is the second one. But yeah, Boris Johnson, when he announced on Monday about the whole lockdown thing, soon after that, Mr. Yu's workplace called to let him know that the site he works on isn't going to be open. So yes, he's at home now as well. In some ways it's good, in other ways not that it's bad. It's just more people in the house. Yeah, so I'll just have to find ways to work around everybody being here. And also then there's the shops. I haven't been to, when did I go shopping last? It was Saturday. I have to leave the house. I left just after 5 in the morning. I went to Aldi. For those of you who don't know, it's a supermarket here, more of a discount type supermarket. That opens at 8 o'clock. I got there going to 6 because on my way there I realised I left the bank card at home, so I had to come back, pick that up. So by the time I got there it was going to 6. Then I realised that you're only allowed an hour and a half of free parking, and I had over 2 hours before the shop was going to open. So it would mean I'd end up getting a parking charge notice. But I remembered that Tesco, which I passed along the way and is a little bit closer to me, opens at 6. And when I drove past there was a few people queuing outside, not many. So I decided to drive back and come to Tesco first, do some shopping there, and then anything else extra I needed I would get from Aldi. So when I got to Tesco, I got there I think 10 or 15 minutes before they opened. Yeah, about 10 minutes before they opened. Not such a long queue, and then they let everybody in and staggered. Managed to get in, got some toilet roll, which was amazing. We already had some, but that was the one from the corner shop, which is really, really cheap. So managed to get some decent toilet roll. I didn't go crazy, you know. Their restrictions were 2 each of every item, except for pasta, rice, toilet roll, oil, and there was something else where you only allowed 1. And that was fine by me. I took 1 packet of the toilet roll. There was no pasta there, though. There might have been, but I went straight to the toilet roll because I thought that's what we needed more. That was more important. And all the other items that were more restricted, I didn't need any of them. So just got our normal stuff. Managed to get a few things. There wasn't any bread there, or at least the bread we would normally get. But yeah, that was fine. Managed to get a good few things, but because Tesco is more expensive than Aldi, ended up spending more than I normally would have for that size of shopping. Because normally I would go to Aldi first, get everything, and then use Tesco to get all the stuff I couldn't get or didn't want to buy in Aldi. But anyway, finished from there. Still had a bit of time left before Aldi was going to open, so I decided to go home, drop everything off, have something to eat because I hadn't had breakfast, and then went to Aldi. And this was just before they opened. Got there and it was such a long queue, so I had to wait outside for a bit before being able to get in. But when I got in, thank God there was some pasta, and their restrictions was just 4 each of every item, except for things such as hand sanitizers and toilet roll, which I think was either 1 or 2, but I didn't need any of those. So, excuse me. So yeah, that was fine. Managed to get all the other things I needed other than bread, but we can get that from the corner shop, which wasn't a problem. So yes, that was the last time I went to the shops. Mr. Yu, I think he went this morning, or was it yesterday? I think it was today. And then he said that the shelves are pretty bare, though it wasn't packed or anything. The shelves were pretty bare, but he just picked up a few things like cereal and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm kind of rambling now. Yeah, it's been an interesting time. Who knows how long this is gonna last. I'm hoping it's not going to last for too long. But yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, one other good thing is that it has forced me, now that everybody is at home, to do some videos, to think more about videos. So one thing I did whilst I was out, I was planning to do some baking stuff. I bought some flour. I went to buy flour. There's no flour anywhere, but there were some baking kits. So I picked up 3 box kits and 1 of the gingerbread men pre-made mix. So I'm thinking of doing a video of that. I'm not sure if I will include the kids. Most likely I will have to, because it's not something I'm going to make during the night. So most likely they will be included. I'm just not sure how we're going to do that. Yeah, without there being chaos. And I know people say, oh, it's fun, let them make a mess and stuff. No, I'm not. No, I can't do that. I don't have that kind of, I don't have the will for that. You know, I like organized mess when I know, okay, there's a mess, but it's just kept to this area within this bowl, so I know my cleanup is going to be quick and simple. And with everybody putting their hands in and doing everything, now I like there to be a little bit more organization. So I'll see how I will do it. Also, I thought of maybe trying to do some shrinking plastic stuff. And then, so I ordered some of those earlier today. So I ordered 2 packs. So I'll give the kids 1 pack and they can do some stuff with that. And I'll keep 1 for myself. I'm not sure if it's something I'm going to make to sell, or just something I'll just do for fun and make stitch markers or pins for myself. I'll just see how they go. But But yeah, I'm just been thinking more about things to write on the blog as well. I have done a few in the recent couple of months or so, so do check those out. Yeah, so as I said, interesting times, but hopefully it's not gonna last too long, though I think from what I've heard it could be around about 12 weeks. 12 weeks, and then when you go back to school, and soon after that there's a summer holiday. Yeah, so we just have to do what we can during that time. I also did some Bible art journaling today. It's something I started in November. I haven't done, the last one I did before today was February, so this morning I thought, as they were doing some stuff, I was just doing this bit by bit just to, no, it was yesterday actually I did it. This morning I just finished off something. I can actually show you, because I have this is my journaling Bible. It was plain and had brown on the outside, and I just covered it with an old Bible I had that I just kind of ripped up and then stuck pages on there. And at the side I've done this, which is from Matthew chapter 4 verse 4, and it says, man shall not live by bread alone. And then I just need to finish it off. I'm going to use smaller stamps to finish off, but by every word from I'm paraphrasing now, but from every word that comes from the mouth of God. That's a paraphrase, so I just need to finish that off there. But today's one I did was from the book of Ruth chapter 1, which is that I've really enjoyed reading the book of Ruth, and I'm planning on maybe doing a page for every chapter in the book, because I have enjoyed it so much. So there's 4 chapters. So yeah, so this is just from chapter 1. So it says, where you go, I will go. My God will be, so your God will be my God. So that's just the first page I did. So yeah, I've been enjoying doing Bible art journaling. If you would like to see more of that, you can check out my other Instagram page, which is Creative for God. And that's where I show more of my faith-based things. So yeah, so that's what I've been up to lately. Gonna do more crafty things with the kids on Friday. That's the day when, based on the home learning stuff, Friday is more of a creative and art day. So I'll just let them, I'll bring out the Lego, bring out all the drawing stuff, let them have access to some of my crafting items. I've also ordered some more polymer clay, so I'll let them use some of that as well. So I'm just not, we as a family are not panicky. I think our faith is helping us not to get panicky about this, but also to be wise, so not to purposely put ourselves in a situation where we could be exposed to the virus, but at the same time we're not going to, you know, get worried if somebody sneezes next to us or something. So we're not panicking or anything. We're just, whatever happens, we'll just adjust our behavior and be sensible and wise. Yeah, so we are staying in as much as possible, only going out when needed. The kids have asked to go to the park, but we've explained that, you know, they can't, and it is difficult because we live in a flat and we don't have access to a garden, but we might allow them to go one day, but then everybody I think because it's the requirement for the lockdown is that those who are not part of the same household should stay 2 meters away. So what we might do is just maybe have a quick run around the park and come back in. Maybe we'll just see how that goes. But yeah, so I hope that you are not too bored or not feeling too isolated. You know, thank God we have things such as YouTube, Netflix and the likes. I think it's a great time to be able to go through some of the offerings that are available, learn a new skill, find new people to follow on these various channels, you know. Yeah, just find other ways to busy ourselves and not get too kind of bogged down with all the information that's flying around, especially a lot of the fake news. So yeah, so let's just be encouraged to also look out for other people around us, you know. Maybe if you can, write a note to your neighbor offering, especially if they're elderly, offering, you know, the service of going out and getting things for them. And then obviously, if you can, disinfect it or just leave it on the doorstep and, you know, ring the doorbell to let them know that it's there. But yeah, I really am babbling now, and my memory's about to get full. So that is it. I think this is more of a talky video. I don't really know if I can say this is really an episode, but I thought, you know, let me just come up and share something. The first baking video I'm planning to do on Saturday. So hopefully we can get one of them done. One of them is based on refreshers, which is a sweet we have in the UK. I don't know if that's available in other countries. Another one is a Parma Violets cupcake one. And then there's a chocolate muffin, I think. It's a chocolate muffin. And then there's the gingerbread man. And I might bring out the gingerbread man cookie cutters and work with that as well. But, you know, we'll see. So yeah, I'm gonna go off to bed now. It definitely is. Okay, yeah, it's now the 26th of March. Hope you are all well, that you are keeping safe. And let's just pray this doesn't go on for too much longer and they are able to find a cure or vaccine for this. So yeah, let me know in the comments how you are dealing with this, what you're doing to occupy your time, and I will be back with you soon. Bye.